We're back for part two. I got in here messing around this past week for a little bit of a demo, but we're going to go back in here with some acrylic paint and go ahead with our pink car. How are you today? This is Bernade Flanoy. We're back for part two. So glad to invite you in my studio. I hope that you had an amazing week. Ooh, end of the year, teacher tired. I'm voice is recovering, feeling a little bit better. So without any further ado, let's get in here and handle this paint on paper. So if you're interested in the download, just shoot me an email. Let me know. All right. So let me go ahead while I'm switching out the cameras. My name is Bernade Flanoy, art teacher by day, portrait painter by night, paint party instructor on the weekends, and I make some art kits, y'all. I love teaching summer sessions, summer programs, but it's a little bit looser than the traditional art room. So I love having a session where the paints are there. I may have some ideas for you to paint. You could or not. So I like to have blank canvases and some extra colors available because I have my um, paint pots here with the primary colors, white and black, and then I throw in that magenta because that one is not going to be mixed using this warm red. So that magenta helps make good purples, and of course the yellow and blue makes green, and then red and orange makes a good orange. And then from that I can mix up my skin tones, all of them, hello, all of them, just by using these primary colors. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, stick around. So let's go ahead and get started here. So let me get my camera together. Let me add that one to the stream. All right, so we just have to play a little bit of a shiftaroo here. Let's see, is that the best image I'm gonna have? I think so. Nope, don't want that. This is gonna be the best bet, y'all. So I'm gonna angle my camera down, and we're about to get on down to it. I've got my bowl here. Let me go ahead and angle down. And you know what? I didn't share this out anywhere. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Let me let you look at that. Here we go. Y'all, every single time, right? I'm live on YouTube, which is great. I got that notification. And so now y'all. And here I am. I'm thinking I'm ahead of the game. We got things rocking and rolling. So let me go share this. So I am going to share it from the painted pose. Y'all, I thought I was ahead of the game this particular time. All right, so let me go in as the painted pose. That's who I am. And am I live? Is it showing me live, y'all? All right. Am I live? I am live there. So great. Let me share that into my group. There we go. All right. I'm live. So let me post that up in there. And I think I can share to my story, and then we're going to go sit down. Am I sharing via what? No, we're not doing that. And it's hot already. I'm in here sweating. I don't know what it's like where you are. We were so grateful to get some of the rain. All right, so I'm going to share. Looks like I am watching, and there might possibly be one other watching. What? So I'm going to share this to my story. And we're about to get started. Because I have everything I need right here. Did it share? I don't know if it's shared, y'all. Let me share. Am I sharing to my... Yep, There we go. All right. So, you know, I reuse this plate. I use it over and over and over again. And it's so thick. But I like to, this is my recycling way. So I am just going to go ahead. I've got the Apple Barrel Diva Pink. Just going to squeeze out a little bit of that. And, you know, we're going to kind of use this a little like watercolor like we did last week. Come on up out of there now. We're only live, okay? All right, y'all, here we go. Now see, okay. Well, anyway, we will keep on with it. And this is another Apple Barrel color. But, you know, I kind of mix them up. This is Michael's brand, bright pink. You know, get whatever pink that you like. You know, get whatever. You don't even have to make it pink. This is bright magenta from Apple Barrel. And they've got so many different, there we go. If I need more, I'll squeeze more out. Last week, I squeezed out a lot of paint and I wasted it. I don't like to do that. Okay, so now we're ready to rock and roll. And I don't know if we're going to completely get through everything today since starting a little bit later than what I wanted. But we're here. All right, let's see if these lights make it a little bit better for us since it's nice and toasty and warm. So just to recap, we went from, you know what, I am looking at Facebook, which is a little bit delayed. So let me go back to StreamYard. There we go. We went from just a simple download. This is what your download would look like. And then, of course, I'll give you the reference. I need to have the reference pulled up, but, you know, we're just going to kind of wing it. So some of the colors, you know, you just keep it simple. This is basically black and pink with a little bit of white. So that's what this is. But, you know, it could be blue, green, turquoise. You can go back here in the background and add trees, blue sky, you know, black road, you know, improvise. Have a good time with it. All right. So let me go ahead and wet my brush. And that's just off the camera there. I think for camera ready stuff, I think we're going to be good right here. I think this is a good spot. Let me make sure we're twisted and turned. I think we're okay now. So I've got my brush right down over here with my water, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to go right on in here with a little bit of the lighter pink, and I don't want a lot. I want to see how this is going to move and groove, and if I need more, it's right here. All right. Looks like we're going to need a little bit more. And this is this blue watercolor? I think that's some blue watercolor. So it may mix up in this paint a little bit. So let's see what we're going to come up with. So I don't really want to thin down my watercolor paint. I'm using acrylic, of course, today. I don't want to thin that down too much because I really want the coverage. Like I said, today, we want to get as far as we possibly can. But we may have to have a shortened session. I may have to finish this one off camera. Unless I do a part 3. All right, so we are coming right on along here. And I know this first coat is going to have to dry. Now, because it's craft acrylic, and even some of the more expensive brands of paint are transparent. So, well, not just because it's an inexpensive paint. Alizarin Crimson, that could be a very nice alternative with a little bit of titanium white if you're using the artist colors, the more expensive colors, but that's a transparent color. All right, so we're getting it done. We're just going to try to hold it down because this is just paper, so it has buckled up a little bit, but at the end, you know, we can kind of crinkle that out of there. And I know I need to get a smaller brush for some of the smaller areas, but we're just trying to hurry up and cover it and then go back and add our little details. So I swooped up a little bit of that darker pink. Let's see if that will help. And I'm going to switch this brush out because I know getting around some of these detail areas, I'm going to need to. But I'm just trying to get that covering on here. Now I know I'm getting ready to mess up if I don't switch this brush out. So I may want to come back for it. I got the larger areas covered, but now I'm going in for the smaller areas. So let me wet my brush. And I really just want to make sure I keep the paint right on the tip as I teach in here because you want to stay in control. So you're just going to be dipping and going on back. So I think I almost want to pull this plate right here because I'm going to dip. You know how the calligraphers, I'm not standing the lines very well. Don't let that bother you either. You can go back and clean it up. And if you really want to be meticulous, after everything dries, you can put a piece of tape on that. I need to just keep the tip going, almost like I'm coloring with a colored pencil. Dip. I've got a lot on there, so I'm going right in the middle. And then I'm going to come right near the edge so I can be in control. So I'm like using the push broom method, so to speak. Just sliding that paint right along. Now some of these areas will be a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. And I don't know if I can flip my share my screen. That's what I'm trying to say. There's like a delay in this brain here. All right, I'm going to get just a little bit of water because that blue has pretty much been covered up. And that's what I want to tell you too about if you feel that you make a mistake, the acrylic paint, now you may have to put a coat of white down. It's like a primer. And then you can go back and paint over it. Especially on paper. I would not suggest necessarily wiping it clean. Maybe on a canvas with a primer base, gesso. You can maybe wipe some of the areas out while it's wet. And then proceed. All right, so this ground coat is pretty much done, laid up here. So I'm just going to kind of just dip and slide right here. And I'm going to find my reference. And it may be down there. Sometimes you just go for it. Sometimes you got to do that. Just go for it. Are you cutting grass today? I hear some of the lawnmowers tuning up out here. I'm going over here with this slightly darker pink right here. And I'm kind of glad that it's already ready. I didn't have to mix it. And I have a slightly lighter one. I think this rose one is a little bit lighter. So, you don't have to mix everything. Just get a couple of bottles of paint that you like. And there's always going to be that one color that you're drawn to for whatever reason. but it may just sit and sit and sit. You may not get to it. And then by the time you get to it, it may be dried out. And so you got to go buy another bottle. That's just how it is for creatives, y'all. All right. So we are really going around a few little detailed areas. And I don't know if I am going to get to the background this time. I like it is. We're zooming along here. I'm using that darker pink. And now I think I'm going to use that as kind of like a main color, and then use the lighter pink maybe on some of the lighter areas. So, I'm just trying to go back in here and kind of clean up any white spots that are there. All right, so let me go back up over here. The good thing and the bad thing about working on paper, this paint soaks up in there kind of fast. So it makes it ready for a second coat pretty quickly. If you're using, thin layers. Now, if you're globbing it on, not so much. So we're going right along this little, I don't know, this little air duct or whatever that is there. I don't know what that is. So, yeah. Do we want this part to be maybe darker? Yeah. Now, of course, we can go back in and make the tires super dark and black where they need to be. So we're moving along pretty good. But just take your time. This is not a large painting with big open areas. And if you don't want to lose the line, even though you can go over it a little bit, you could paint right up to the line. All right. So we are slowly but surely cleaning that up. So I'm going to go with a light back here. All right, so we're just kind of cleaning up some of the areas where we know it's time for like a second coat up here. But this paper is still kind of wet. I'm going to just kind of go over it. This is where I need to get that bigger brush out. And you got to remember to use the right brush. And this is what I tell my students for the right job. And, most of the paint sets, oh, there we go, don't want too much out. Most of the paint sets come with that one brush. Okay, there's still some water in here, so we are, let me make sure that's on camera. So I'm just kind of pushing out some of this water right here, going right back on the hood. Probably need to add a little white to this, but I'll worry about some of the details later. And the really cool stuff happens after you get the main colors in their place, and then you can kind of go back and play a little bit. So I'm going to add a lot of paint right here, just kind of goopy, going right up over here. All right, and that little bit of blue that's shining through is kind of actually nice. All right, so I see I probably need a third coat. I know this is like watching paint dry, y'all. I know it. But I think I did a post one time. I like watching paint dry. Okay, here we go. Right, so for the most part, the basic colors are done. And now it's time for some of that detail work. And what I probably will do is save that for part, okay, for part 3. So we will come back, darken out the windows, and then we'll see about something really dramatic in the background. Like I said, I was going to see if I could find the reference picture for you, but I think I closed it out. I don't even think I have it out here anymore. So I don't have it on screen. I can find it really quickly, but it's 10 o'clock already. So let me see if I can pop this over just a bit. Let's see, is this one of the last downloads that I did? Let me just go and find it. And then it's time for me to get it in gear. Ah, there's my pink car. And let's see if we can do a screen. And I want you to see how different mine is looking. Let's see if I can move that over so we can show you what's going on back here. Okay, let me move this up. Let's see if I can do a quick screen share. All right, let's see. Present. Share screen. There we go. Share screen. Let me do the whole entire screen. And click and share. All right, so that is probably not the best thing. Let me shrink this down. I'll raise it back up. All right, so this is my reference that I'm looking at. Let me hide some of this desktop back up over here because it's a hot mess. There we are. So yes, this, some of those areas that are in there, you improvise. This is a nice dark purple down here. I went with the straight black here, straight black there, the black in here. And so I need to probably go in here and keep that moving. And so this is a simplified view. You can make it as complicated as you want. I really like that pink background. So you can make your background any color that you want. And let me, we stop sharing, y'all. Stop. Okay. So there we go. Let me go back to this. So yeah, you can go back in there and make it as detailed and as intricate as you want. And it is so much fun. So let me come back to you. All right. So yeah, I think we're going to sign off there. And then we can come back for part 3. And this is what I tell people. Who says you have to finish, everything right in the first session? Who says that? Right, it's working. It's coming along. So now we've got the base coat. And then we can go back and add a few little details. I kind of like that reference shot of all the pink. So this is Brene Flanoy. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to keep in contact and know what's going on over here in the world of the painted pose, by all means, join our email list. I put it in the description. You can get a download, and I still need to do one for the summertime. It's June, so it's time for summer. So let me know some of the ideas that you would love to see here. I would love to help you, join you on your beginning leg of your art journey. I love to make sure you learn about some of the different tools and some of the basic techniques. And even if I don't stay with you along your whole journey, because my goal is to help the beginner get up on that first step, that first, second, third, fourth, fifth step. And if you're going to level 10, I can still hang with you there too. But it depends on your interest. I'm the portrait chick. Okay. I love portraits. If you love bunny rabbits and robins and flowers and landscapes and cars, I just wanted to do one, y'all. This is so out of my comfort zone. This is so out of my lane, y'all. If you only knew. But sometimes you gotta step out there. So I'm signing off. Peace to you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Painted Pose. So see you around online. Follow me on all the social. I just never gotten a Snapchat, y'all, but I'm out here on just about everything else. I even have a Discord, y'all. Don't have Twitch. So I'm cleaning out these brushes and I'm going to sign on off here. Have an amazing rest of your day.